Journey with the Jawas as we explore Africa in 3 months through 8 countries. Join us as we willingly disrupt our sense of normality and challenge ourselves to live boundlessly by physically crossing borders, create deeper connections together as a family, and of course, explore the endless possibilities that exist beyond our various African borders.
Hey there, it's Yolz channel.
We left the east coast of Kenya, Diani Beach, and were at the border in less than an hour. Now we were heading south because Kenya was the furthest point of our travel, and now we were heading along the coast of Dar es Salaam towards Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, which you'll see in the upcoming episodes. For now, though, we were headed to a small town called Bagamoyo, which actually means lay down your heart. And a little later, I'll break down the meaning for you. A little bit sad and too soon into the intro to talk about that. But before we got to Bagamoyo, we passed a small town called Tanga, which actually felt like a little piece of home, seeing homes that looked like a snippet of somewhere in South Africa. But perhaps that was because we were really homesick. And anything that looked even a tad bit like home, we held on to very tight. We reminisced about being at the furthest point of our destination. But to be quite honest with you, after a really good vacation, we actually felt ready to head back to South Africa, even though we still had a good 4 more countries to go. We found this lodge called Travelers Lodge along the coast, 75 kilometers before Dar es Salaam, and that is where we spent our first night back in Tanzania, only this time on the East Coast. Before supper, we realized we ran out of Tanzanian shillings. Most restaurants and some accommodations actually deal with pure hard cash transactions, so we couldn't really swipe in most of the places in Tanzania. And we withdrew about 500,000 shillings, which equates to about 4,000 or 4,500 rand. Nonetheless, I absolutely loved where we stayed. The Travelers Lodge has got multiple types of accommodation. Initially, we wanted to camp, but the weather was giving signs of possible rain, so we ended up getting a small chalet. This particular lodge is literally right along the beach, which gave us a glimpse of what this town is about. We decided to jump into the car and go towards a more public beach to see more of the beach, as well as talk to the locals, which you know already. We absolutely love doing that, thanks to my husband encouraging me to really get deep and connect with communities we wouldn't otherwise be able to if we weren't traveling to explore, to learn, and to expand our knowledge, particularly in Africa. After much research and reading, I learned the town's name, Bagamoyo in Swahili, actually means to lay down your heart. Now, this historical town used to be visited by Arabs and German traders and porters, doing exactly what you think. Yep, they were trading, and of course, Bagamoyo was rich in copper, ivory, and of course, the main subsistence here was fishing. But to those porters and traders, to lay down their hearts meant resting after a long journey. Unfortunately, for the native Tanzanians who lived here, they had to lay down their hearts, as most of these porters and traders took them captive and sold them as slaves. An ambiguous name to a sad and heartbreaking history. However, today we get to see the natives enjoy their freedom and enjoy the richness that this land gives them. On a sunny Thursday afternoon, we finally arrived in Dar es Salaam. It wasn't my first time here, but I was very happy to see the different changes in this city. One, it's looking a whole lot more developed than it was back in 2017. Funny story is, this is where I suspected I was pregnant with Fez. And I got home after my Dar es Salaam trip to finding out that I was with child. Yep. Anyway, asikwelapo, we got to Dar es Salaam on one mission and one mission only, and that was to get to Zanzibar. However, we could not just arrive in the afternoon and head straight to there because we were driving and still needed to make up our minds on whether or not we can take the vehicle we were in to Zanzibar. We later learned that we need an international driving license to drive any vehicle of your own on the Zanzibar island. So that couldn't be possible. We could not get flights to the island either, and we had to spend a night in Oyster Bay and actually find our way to Zanzibar the following day. Thankfully, there was a ferry available, and with multiple agents trying to assist us, we eventually got our tickets from one of the agents and got onto a ferry. The ferry was about an hour and a half long ride. I personally would not advise getting onto the ferry. If you can take the flight, it's a lot quicker. Apparently, it is only 10 minutes, but we were pressed on time. We didn't want to wait 2 days to get onto the next flight to the island. And we actually work on a Google Calendar, so our whole trip is pretty much planned to the T with 2 or 3 days variable. So we still wanted to stick to schedule as we had a lot more countries still to see, and we don't want to be dilling and delling still, while we had a long way to go before having to go home and of course return the vehicle that we had hired. As for our car, we actually parked it safely in Dar es Salaam. Upon arrival, we actually got off the ferry and had a driver pick us up. We were offered a 3-day stay at a villa, and the person who actually offered us the accommodation also had his driver pick us up. And let me tell you, Stone Town is busy. It's pity. Hey, Jay. Wow, not what I expected getting into Zanzibar. However, I kind of like the East African busy kind of vibe. It reminds me a little bit of Joburg, but also reminds me that we as Africans are naturally born hard workers. No matter what anyone tells you, you have it in you. If you can't find it, look for it, because we found it everywhere else we went through this African trip. Zanzibar was very similar to the small towns and even villages that we saw on our way here. Parts of Kenya, parts of Tanzania was sort of what we were seeing being displayed throughout this island. I don't know what I expected. For some reason, I had this picturesque idea of Zanzibar, but to be quite honest, I guess this is why we travel, and we travel by car, to see things for what they really are and not what just the media shows us or what Instagram shows us of this island. We saw ordinary human beings living ordinary lives just like everywhere else, a normal town, normal township, and a combination of villas in a village. So interesting. Honeys, we have load shedding in Zanzibar. All of Zanzibar is load shedded, eh? Can you believe it? I wanted to show you guys reality versus expectations, and hopefully I'll show you more. But we're staying in this beautiful home in Jambiani, and the ocean is literally just after this house. That house is beautiful, but as you can see, ingathi says lali because and does we mix chairs lali and beach homes within a location, a township. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, but anyway, this one is playing in there. I'm about to join him again. I'm trying to relearn how to swim. I used to be able to swim, guys. I used to be able to swim. I don't think I'm able to swim anymore. However, I'm working on it. So I'm like re-teaching myself how to do it. I learned how to swim in high school. In grade 8, my very first year of high school. But now I feel like I haven't swum in so long. If you guys have seen my videos, my husband's always swimming. And he says he can't swim. Imagine. He dolphin. But yeah, let me go back in the water. I will chat to you guys later. The sun is setting. Hopefully electricity will come back and y'all will have a vlog on the right day. Obviously by the time you see this vlog, it's about 2 vlogs before this that would have gone up. The Kenya vlog, which can't go up now because my PC is dead. There's no electricity. After spending 3 days at our free accommodation in Jambiani, we moved to another part of the island called Paje, also very popular with lots of resorts and villas. However, it still very much looks like a mix of villas in a village, and I try to keep it as real as possible with you guys. By the way, I will link the property we stayed at in Jambiani down below. It is available on booking.com.
Put that on camera.
We had made dinner reservations right on the beachfront, and y'all, I'm gonna try and retain as much footage of our experience as possible. Hey, kuraf Zanzibar, y'all. What's that? You done? A bet. Ew. Sambe makhonchini. Yo. I suppose I expected a more picturesque Zanzibar, but I also needed this reality check, as well as a reminder that you can make anything, absolutely anything, out of whatever it is that you have. Instead of putting limitations on what is a village, people have put villas and made them look so beautiful. Of course, for me, it was a shock because we don't see this on TV. We don't see it on our phones, on our screens, TikTok, Instagram. Maybe I never looked there. But there are beautiful spaces, beautiful villas in a truly poverty-stricken village. And for me, the takeaway is that anything is possible and you can sell whatever story you want to tell about yourself and your life, regardless of the realities of your circumstances. Don't let them limit you. Find the beauty in it, market it, add a markup on top of that, and sell it really well. Zanzibar tells a story, and they sell it so well.
you mean to me? What would you do if I told you you were beautiful? Would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you?
Maya Ocean Resort. Boom. Expectation versus reality. Ish, kunemandi nalana. Sasihamba sidodge amandi, guys. Yeah. Yo.
The Dynamos title 2.
His daddy is directing us. Daddy is still driving, even when we're walking. Oh, Baba. I sure she's saying so that this car doesn't spray us. That's coming. Oh. Okay, good night, honeys. I just wanted to show you the contrasting properties. Over here, we've got a beach hotel with a lounge and restaurant. Whoop. Over here, I was walking into this wall.
Next trip, Zanzibar,
Yeah.
we're definitely doing the 4 or 5-star only.
There, my Airbnb. Yeah, fine. You still have to go through the location. It's hectic. You can't stay at any restaurant. You can't stay at any 5-star hotel. You still gotta go through some hectic.
I hope I don't see that bat again.
No, we won't see it, hopefully. Was it like half dead, Lovey? That bat. That was nasty.
I think that bat crashed into another bat, then it fell. Then the heat made it stuck there.
Nice. Alright, honeys. I'll see you in the morning. We are here. Love you guys so much. Mwah! This was the property we booked. I booked it via booking.com as per usual. And we spent 2 days on this property. Very nice property. The only thing I didn't like is the moldy smell in the house. A lot of the properties across Dar es Salaam, to be quite honest, and even along the coast, Mombasa being one of them, have a moldy smell, but that's because it is so humid and so hot here. I don't think they can do much about it. That's the only con. Otherwise, we loved staying here. The bikini I actually wore was sent to me. I'll leave her IG handle over here. I love the colors and how it blends with my skin. And it really gave me a chance to test the waters here and practice my swimming. Right after that, we were off and out of Zanzibar. Jumo, the driver who picked us up, gave us a bit of a history and, of course, a picture of the political landscape in Zanzibar and why so much poverty exists. The parallels to how our government in South Africa is unmatched. A lot of countries on our continent are not doing well simply because of governance. And yes, there's a complexity to that. But we cannot stop working hard. We cannot stop seeking to make our countries a better place just because our governments are not delivering the services that they are, just because our presidents, and I put a big S there, are dysfunctional in the way that they are managing the countries that they are given. However, with that said, the most important thing here is how we steward everything else that God has given us in our lives to manage, and to manage it well.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else will do what you do. That's why I don't mind. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is no one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is no one
We finally got to Dar es Salaam. We had actually parked our car at a church. They charged us about 60,000 Tanzanian shillings, which comes up to 450 Rand. Not too bad, right? We actually took a ferry to get across this little strip of the ocean to Kipepeo, where our next accommodation was. This was actually the very first time we were going to camp in Tanzania, and we hadn't camped in so long. We actually hadn't camped in well over a month, and low-key, we were missing it. We love our camp beds. I do think I'll include a little bit of a tour of where we sleep and how we sleep when we're on top of our vehicle. Not in this episode though. However, on another episode, I will definitely include it, probably the Mozambique one. But yeah, we actually missed camping, and we finally found an accommodation here in Tanzania. The last time we were here, we could not find anywhere to camp. This time we did, and we took that first opportunity to do so. This is Kipepeo Beach, a private beach, and it offers guests beach access, obviously, but also day visitors, bathrooms, shower facility, as well as a restaurant. I believe you pay about $10 to use all their facilities for a day. But of course, if you are staying here, we paid $20 per night to camp here, and then you pay an extra $5 for electricity. A bit weird because everywhere we've camped, the electricity is included. But other than that, it was also nice to hear locals speak the local language and play volleyball right along where we were going to sleep for the night.
What you gonna do?
He's not gonna work. I need to put in the fridge.
We woke up to sunny skies, surprisingly, but we had a hectic storm the previous night. In fact, some of the rain entered our tent, and for the very first time, we were those people in the middle of the night trying to get water out of our tent. It got into the side pockets of the tent where, sadly, my husband's cell phone was in one of those pockets for the evening. His phone got water damaged, but alas, that did not take away from the experience. We still wanted to look for the bright side. Once we found it, we looked on the bright side, stayed another night with no storm, enjoyed the beaches, which clearly Dar es Salaam was just giving white sandy beaches. I feel like it's been a series of beach life and a huge break from the bustling cities that we've been in. So yeah, this actually did my heart good. We made our way to a town called Morogoro. It is one of the most developed towns of Tanzania that we had been to and seen. It reminded me a little bit of Arusha, but also the kindness of the people of Dar es Salaam. I don't know if that makes sense. We stayed at a property that seems to be South African owned. The food was absolutely delicious. The service, absolutely 5-star treatment through and through. Whatever you need. I mean, they even added an extra bed, but only charged us for one in our room, which I absolutely loved. And of course, it is high up in the mountains, so the views, spectacular.
Such a beautiful view.
We enjoyed the sunset from high up on the property. This property has got multiple levels, and it was just great to sit here as a family, look back, and actually be reminded of parts of Cape Town and then the soil, parts of Mpumalanga. Maybe we were missing home. Maybe we are just all homesick, but it gave tropical, but the mountain gave Table Mountain, Sabu. You know what I'm saying? We had a great night's rest, and the next morning we were off. I couldn't believe we only had one night here because we absolutely loved our stay. Again, another booking.com booking success. Saying goodbye to Morogoro was a little bit sad because I did not necessarily want to leave. However, it meant that we were just a few more weeks away from getting home. And no lies, I miss home. Have I said I miss home? Yeah, Zin. I actually miss home. And as per usual, when we leave a country, we actually start talking about what we've learned, who we've connected with, and whether or not we'd come back again. Well, we've been to Tanzania twice already, and guess what? We would absolutely come back. So much richness in culture, so much kindness in the people. We got to the border and it took us another hour and a half, something we seem to be getting used to at this point. Nonetheless, we got to Malawi safely. So in the next vlog, we get to see all things Malawi. We go to the main city and of course get to explore the parts of Malawi we have never heard about. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and of course if you love what you are seeing. Mwah.